Well, here we are again in the podcast room. It's been a little while. It's been a red hot minute. Edward, how are you?
Yeah, good.
It's been a little hiatus from the podcast.
It has been a real hiatus. I was just chatting to someone, and I think it must be 6 months, I reckon.
At least. And we love the sound of our own voices, so it's been hard for us to stay away. But
Love it.
This is a very special episode because we are coming to you for a special edition podcast to celebrate TradeMutt's 4th birthday. And I know
Can you believe it?
Who would have thought we'd made it this far?
TradeMutt Radio, coming through on your wireless.
Happy birthday, Ed.
You too, Derek.
Oh, thanks, mate. Jeez. We having a party?
Well, we can find out in the next 20 minutes.
So, let's cut to the chase because we are recording a special edition podcast here. We've gone out to the community because we want to answer all the questions that you've got for us. We've got a few very interesting questions, but the catch is we are dropping in a code in this podcast. The code is to celebrate our 4th birthday.
And does nothing.
It doesn't. It doesn't. The code is for the first 44 people who listen to this podcast and obtain the code. The code will be $44 for you to spend at the TradeMutt store. No limited spend, nothing, unlimited, $44. Do as you please. It's our little gift to you for the
You get
first...
a free hat and something else with that.
God, don't tell them that.
Oh, sorry.
Little gift to you, $44. Celebrate our 4th birthday. Thanks for the support. And, just a little bit of an interesting way to connect with the community, which we love a lot.
Well, keep your ears peeled for that one.
And you're sporting the special edition coit, I might add today, Rossi.
I am.
It looks amazing.
And the gold foil is still holding up really well.
Of course
I've given it a hard, fairly hard bashing, but I don't wear this one to work because it, as in work, outside work.
It's a special edition.
It's
What
a
number you
special
got there?
edition. Number 7.
Yeah, right.
So,
Got anything to say about what I'm wearing?
oh yeah, nice polo, Derek.
Mate, I know. Brand new polos. These things are bloody awesome. Raglan sleeves. Getting it cranking.
Raglan.
Yeah, you need to get around these new polos. They're fantastic. So if you get the $44, think about a polo.
Oh yeah, $1 more and you'll get it. Then you have to pay for shipping. But
Yeah, absolutely.
anyway,
should we rip into some questions?
Yeah, all right, I'll go first.
So we've gone to the Mutt Hut, our Facebook community, and we've gone out, and there's some interesting questions for Ed and Dan. Anything you want to know, there were no holds barred here. So I actually think there's some questions about our personal lives, if anyone even cares, but we'll see what happens.
I don't have a personal life. All right.
Question number 1, Rossi, hit us.
Well, it's actually number 7, but the question is, it's quite open-ended. What is next for TradeMutt?
Well, I don't even know what we're doing now. So how do we know what's next? What's next for TradeMutt? Well, look, we've had a super busy period. We actually had to put the podcast on hold because we had to focus on business priorities. And that's, our focus to make this thing long-lasting for our awesome community. So what we've done in recent times is Ed's been off establishing the TAX Alliance. We have been off here at TradeMutt establishing our key revenue streams and making sure that we know what actually makes this business tick and run so that we can continue to do what we love. We believe that we've now really figured out what we're good at after testing a lot of things.
Took 4 years, but we got there.
Yeah, and we are now really well established as a social impact workwear company. So what that means for us is that we make workwear, whether it's conversation starting, whether it's traditional, whether it's custom for any businesses out there that want to jump on board, or any other bespoke uniform and workwear solutions that you want, we can do it all. And the beauty of purchasing with TradeMutt and coming on board is that you still help us fund TAX as a top tier alliance member. You still help us provide disability employment hours with SendAble, and you're still allowing 2 blokes with a bit of a dream to make a bit of an impact to go and reach for the stars. So that's what we are. That's what the future holds. And, basically it's unlimited. Have you got anything to add?
Oh, I suppose the other thing is obviously some changes with our team, which is pretty exciting. Hiring our first BDM. So Shannon, he starts on the 21st.
What's a BDM?
Business Development Manager. And he's actually keen to do his own podcast by the sounds of things. So he'll be using the studio at stage, as he says. God. And we've also got Danielle starting next month too, which
Digital
is pretty
platform
exciting.
Manager.
Yeah, so a couple little changes, which is exciting.
Yeah, so essentially to answer the question, we've figured out our key revenue streams. We've figured out what we're good at. We know our community and our customers really well now. We just want to double down on what we know how to do so that we can continue to use the blue-collar community and workwear to create as much social impact and change as we can. So, yeah.
Good work, mate. Question number 2. It could be 8. It could be 6.
Question number 1. Oh, God. How long have you been friends? This is awkward because we're not actually friends.
Well, fuck, I don't know how. Well, we've been mates since 2014.
We met on a building site.
We did meet on a building site.
We met on a building site in 2014, and we started working for a builder on the same day together. We won't go into the story because it's really
quite
long, but
long-winded.
Ed and I both have an incredibly crazy series of events that actually led us to being in the same place at the same time.
Very odd.
And that's how we know that our relationship was just meant to be.
Oh, so cute. But yeah, we've been mates now since 2014.
2014.
End of 2014.
Met on a building site. I was a tradie. Ed was fresh off a stint wrangling cattle in central West Queensland. Wanted to learn carpentry. Had a healthy appetite for knowledge. He became my apprentice, and I've been stuck with him ever since.
Rest is history.
And now we just love eating buffalo
chicken wings
together.
And Nando's together. Perono's chip dip. Thank you.
Yeah. Give us another question.
Righto. Question number 13.
13.
Sorry. What is your favourite print?
Look, I'm a sucker for the OGs, to be honest. I always loved the Coit. Ever since we sold the Coit, I always wanted to bring the Coit back, and I wanted to do it in a special way, and I think we did that with what you've got on here, that special edition gold leaf print. So I do love that shirt. I do love the OG camo print. That always was the oxymoron for making the invisible issue impossible to ignore, and it's got us to where we are. But I've got some. I mean, I love all of our prints, but some of the collaborations that we've done, the fish collab,
That's
I
one
love.
of my favourites.
The Wild Side collection that we did was awesome. That was such a good photo shoot, and that's where we met DK.
Yes,
who is
DK.
in studio with us today.
I don't want to look back over because I might look at the camera.
On the one, yeah, and he said we're not allowed, but that's DK on the ones and twos. He's our Jamie in the studio. So that's where we met DK. So yeah, all of our prints have got special fond memories and different things and different represent different parts of our business. But I would say for me, probably the Coit.
Yeah, I reckon my favourite for a good while was the MFG, and then I'm a sucker for the Ventura. I know you hate the Ventura.
I don't hate the Ventura. I don't say that.
No, not as in hate, but as
I
in
love I love the Ventura, but I've just always wanted, fresh,
more,
always fresh.
Yeah, I don't know
stuff.
what it is about the Ventura, but it was that print that Rob and Guy sent through on that chat one day, and I was like, that print is sick.
Yeah, like some people say it looks like the seat cover of a bus seat.
No, that's the bloody
Finkel.
Yeah,
Same print though.
Same print, different colour.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Anyway,
What's this?
righto. This is a great question. I can only guess who it's from. What's your favourite sex toy from Lovehoney? Before we go to it,
You getting that on the wide?
for the players who are only listening at home, I'm holding up a giant check right here that's in the podcast studio for $25,200, which was raised by Australian director of Lovehoney, Big Bad Bob.
The number 3 in e-commerce in Australia, by the way.
I know, huge.
Big
So
dog.
we've done a bit with Lovehoney, and I know people will and know that, and it's might be a bit out of left field, but yeah, there it is. Get that sex toy over here. Sorry.
Yes.
We're just manoeuvring around in the podcast studio.
Our limited edition dildo hammer, which Bobsy
What's a dildo?
delivered to us. It's a wild bit of gear. I don't know. I don't think it'd fit in your nail bag, but
So yeah, we've got a big pink vibrating dildo here that was gifted to us from Lovehoney. So this probably is my favourite, to be honest. It's still in its packaging.
it's my favourite too.
It's like a
We're gonna
G.I. Joe. It's never coming out of its packaging.
Yeah, this will be on Antiques Roadshow one day.
Yeah.
When there's a break in the weather at cricket.
And I doubt Ed would know how to use that because he never really knew how to use a real hammer either. So
anyway, don't leave it on the table because DK will throw it out. So I'm gonna put it over here somewhere.
yeah. But my so this is our collective favourite toy from Lovehoney.
Definitely.
My probably favourite toy from Lovehoney personally is probably a ball gag, I reckon. Because sometimes I just need to shut up. and the same could be said for Edward.
Hopefully not in this podcast.
Take this pink vibrating hammer. Next question.
This is hold on. I'm just trying to figure out how to read this question properly. When was the moment in the last 4 years that gave you the most satisfaction in terms of the brilliant link between TradeMutt and TX?
The most satisfaction.
I've got one.
Okay, go.
Well, there was a story that Kerry, our general manager at TX, was telling. I'm sure she told you too. But she definitely told me about it when there was a young person down in Tasmania, I believe, that was having a pretty shit day by themselves out working on a property, I think she said, and was really struggling. And then she just took 5 minutes, looked down at her shirt, saw the YNWA, and remembered that like what we were doing here, and then gave TX a call. And it was just like made that connection that, yeah, they weren't alone and there was someone there for them. So that was pretty cool when Kez told me that story. It was like, fuck, that's exactly the whole point. So it is working.
Yeah, totally. There's the story that you've also told a bit about the bloke whose father and son opened up a really important conversation that they'd never broached before about they'd dealt with some real tragedy in their family. There's honestly so many stories, like, to be perfectly honest, that have really, and that's the emotional roller coaster of this thing because we like to have fun, but there's just so many crazy, impactful stories that that really tug at the heartstrings. To be honest, I mean, probably my biggest memory ever, really, for the whole thing, and TX wasn't necessarily established then, but was obviously meeting Brad Pulicia and that whole thing around meeting him and his son having taken his life, and it's just, you know, the need to provide more services out there in this space. Like, there's been so many impactful stages. So yeah, it's actually a hard one to answer that, to be honest.
And then obviously like the first, I think it was the first caller we ever had through to TX was that bloke on a building site in Brisbane. Remember that?
That's right. That was huge. Yeah, he was on a building site and he just was overcome with anxiety, had a panic attack, and he left site and walked up the street to his car. I don't even think he was wearing a TradeMutt shirt at that time, but he knew about TradeMutt, and he got onto the TradeMutt website and he found his way through to TX. And I cried that day because that was fucking crazy to know that there was actually a tradie on a building site in Brisbane who wasn't in a good place, knew the shirts, drew the connection, got through to Nat, our psychologist at the time, and she got him in a place where he felt supported and heard and in a calm place, and was able to eventually get back to work. And that's what it's all about right there, to be honest. So
100%.
Huge.
I
don't want to burp into the microphone. I've been eating some spicy jerky.
Oh yeah, I want a bit of that, but not now.
That'd sound real good on the what is it? ASMR. We should. Oh, there you go. There's an idea. Separate podcast. All right.
Jerky.
Next question. What is the number one best thing that has happened to both of you since founding TradeMutt?
The number one best thing that has happened to both of us since.
This is also a hard one because for the two of us, I know we always talk about this. The whole thing has been such a roller coaster and such a journey, literally on a daily basis. Impactful stories that we've heard, the fact that we're still here, this kind of stuff, and even just thinking about that now in my head, processing it, I think probably all the way through that. No one really knows the stuff that me and you are really the only ones who truly know how hard we've worked and everything we've been through, and the good times and the tough times. So I think probably for me, the number one best thing is that me and you are just still the exact same mates that we were when we started, even though we've had our troubles. And we're just still here. Like, that's probably the best thing for me.
Oh, yeah.
I think.
Ditto, for sure.
Yeah.
And I think another big thing, though, is, like, the idea of TX was great, right? Like, the concept, the idea, brilliant. But, like, us actually being able to get that off the ground, obviously with a lot of help from everyone out there.
I don't have a fucking clue what we're doing.
Not a fucking clue. Just no, like, I think the one thing that is, like, the best that we've had is that it's not a matter of, we don't know how to do that. It's like we know what we needed to do and just found a fucking way to make it happen. I think that's what's probably the best thing that's happened to us. It's like we've sort of always had that anyway. Like when we're on the tools or whatever, there'd be some issue and we're trying to figure it out. But it's never been like too hard basket. It's just been like, this is an issue. This needs solving. Let's figure out how to do it.
And the simple fact that, I mean, people say this all the time. It's like, it's hopefully not a cliche, but like, you know, it's not about us either. Like, we couldn't do it. We've got so many people who have played
100%.
a crucial role at every single stage all the way through it who have helped us be able to actually do it. And then like some of those people, you know, have been and gone. Some of those people are still here. But it's literally every single person that we've ever had officially or unofficially supporting us, and including our community who have just been there to help us do it, because like it's hard and we couldn't do it without that support. So yeah, that's awesome.
Absolutely.
Jeez, that's a bit deep, isn't it?
Did I ask the last question? Or
No, I did.
Oh yeah, okay. This is a good one. What's your advice for people wanting to follow their passion?
Well, if you know what your passion is, that's a great start.
It is a good start.
I think. So, if you already know what your passion is, well, then you've already won. Go get it.
Absolutely.
I think a lot of people initially even struggle to know what their passion is and to know what it is they want to do in life. And so to the people who don't know what their passion is, I always say, do your time, take the stepping stone approach, whatever stage in life you're at. No matter where you are, no matter what sort of job you're doing, whether you love your job or hate your job, use every opportunity that you've got to milk as much knowledge and education and experience as you can, and keep the faith that wherever you are is going to lead you to where you need to get to. And sometimes on that journey, often the sea starts to part and it starts to become clearer, and you can figure out, you know, what you're actually naturally good at or what your passion is that way. To people who already know what their passion is,
get going.
Just go get it. Just make it happen. There's never a good time to do anything, so now's always the right time.
Well, I think I saw an interesting quote this morning. It was the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time to plant a tree is today. And it's sort of like, you know, you've just got to start. Do you know what I mean? So like the more time you put into something, the more you fuck it up. I know like everyone talks about like failing and whatnot, but it's like, it's not even people, like you fail every day anyway with certain shit, you know what I mean? It's just being able to ride that, learn from it and continue to improve.
It's literally the only way you learn.
Yeah, so it's like, I think, like there'd be
the amount of shit that we've failed.
Oh, fuck. But the thing is, just going and having a red hot crack, because it's like, you're never going to know unless you do. And if you don't, you'll never know, right?
And what was the thing that Money said yesterday about the strongest tree is the one that isn't protected from the storm?
Yeah, isn't protected from the storm.
Yeah, the strongest tree is the one that isn't protected from the storm. So there you go. Just to
get out there and get smashed.
Go along. Yeah. But hopefully not in the floods. And shout out to anyone who has been affected by all the crazy weather at the moment. Next question. Ooh. Which podcast guest or guests has touched you both individually and as a business? Physically or emotionally? Just fucking stop touching me, mate. I'm trying to think. Record a podcast.
Who the best is. I almost looked at the camera decal, but I didn't.
I have loved. There's been some awesome podcasts. Like David Shillington's podcast was quite early on, and is one that we've always reflected and talked about, because he had some really good points. And Shillo's hilarious because he's he was 120 kilo prop forward for Queensland and Australia and the Roosters, but he talks like he is just a big teddy bear. So that's awesome. So like those early on ones when we had no idea what we were doing, like having Mick Gould in for Maths episode number 1, like that's right. Hilarious. Yeah, that was good. Like I've never even watched an episode of Maths, and I was sitting there trying to like pretend like I
knew what you were talking about. Well, Lance and I did watch that season. I reckon that's probably the last season of Maths I ever watched, and I became a Survivor man.
But also Rani from Peach Tree.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Was a great one about
perinatal wellness.
Yeah, perinatal wellness, both men and women.
Yep.
And Donna Thistlethwaite was obviously a huge one. You know, a survivor of an attempted suicide. Like that was really heavy, that one. But it's good to know that we can sort of sit and have those conversations. Ben Bjarnason was good.
Yeah, I reckon like mine was like talking to Scott Hutchinson. Like I know it was a different type of podcast, but it was that was fucking
Marto. Greg Martin.
Oh, Marto was great.
Greg Martin was great because after
and Bo Robinson was really good.
Bo Robinson was great. They were all bloody
They're
great.
all good. We've never had a podcast where we're like that was shit. But some stand outs.
After Marto's, when we walked out of the studio, he said to us, because we just got deep, like something happens when you walk into this podcast room and everyone says it and they all say, to the effect of, oh, geez, you made that really comfortable, and, it's almost a cathartic process for people to come in and talk about this stuff. But after Marto's one, he thanked us on the way out. He just goes, I've really got to thank you, boys. Like, I think that's really helped me. Like, I haven't talked about that stuff really, and whatever just happened there, I just did. So, like, thanks for helping me. And so that's really cool. And then there's the power of conversation right there. Like, that just shows what the whole thing is all about, like how important it is to have. And because there's also something about when you're doing a podcast, when you can hear yourself on the microphone.
It's like the loop.
And you're in an official, like, podcast setting. You know that other people are going to be listening, so you really try to speak clearly and eloquently. Or actually, I shouldn't say that because we swear like pirates. But
swearing,
it's something happens that lets you go. So yeah, probably Marto.
Yeah, Marto was great. This is an easy answer. Will the podcast you're making return apart from this special episode? Yes. Next question.
In its new format, though, just like this. We have DK in the studio.
Flicking and swapping.
He's on the 1s and 2s, live switching. We're not going to, But one of the things to flag with the podcast, how we're doing it before, is we were putting heaps of effort into post-production, and it was really labour-intensive. So, yeah, we've been able to refine it so we can get in, churn them out, pump them out, and, make it easy.
This is a weird one. I've got no idea what
Hang
this
on,
is a
stop asking the questions. Give me one. No.
Well, I've got to ask it because it's to you. And then you can give the thing. Righto, I've never heard this before. Dan has occasionally referenced an incident involving a drum kit in his formative years. Without ever going into detail, what is the go there?
Oh, my God. That's from Hugh.
Right. I've never heard this.
That's from my cousin. Okay, I need to answer this one. How do I do it? Okay, so fuck. The drum kit. Okay, I always used to come up to Brisbane for school holidays to hang out with my cousin, and at one stage when I was about 12 years old, Hugh would have been about 14 or so. He had a girlfriend at the time. Her name was Carol, not Carol Baskin. And I was over, and he wanted his girlfriend to come over. And obviously at that age, he wanted his girlfriend to come over and probably, do a bit of kissing and canoodling. And not having me around. So Carol came over, and I was like the fly in the ointment. I was like the little cousin that was there in the way. Well, like, how would you say, cock blocking? And so to mitigate this situation, to make myself scarce, I said, all right, I'll just go and make myself busy in a way that you'll know that I'm busy. So you'll know that you've got a clear runway to do whatever you want. I'll be out of the way. So I went down to the rumpus room, and Hugh had a drum kit down there. So I was just down there for fucking like an hour, just like drumming so that they knew that I was down there fucking drumming.
So you just sat up there.
I don't, I wouldn't have a clue what they were doing. Probably, telling each other how much they loved each other, I suppose. But by the end, at the start, I was like, oh, yeah, this is cool. I was in a nice little rhythm on the drums. By the end, I was like, fucking bang, crash. Like an hour of drumming is a lot. So, yeah, that's sorry, that I don't know how anyone's going to receive that story, but that's what that's about. What so thanks.
Should you give this voucher?
Oh, we got to get onto the voucher.
People that have listened thus far, congratulations.
We haven't even been spruiking it much.
We haven't needed to.
Should we do it?
Absolutely. First 44, you get $44 off the website
to celebrate.
It's the first 44, so you got to be quick.
You do have to be quick. So the second that you listen to this, I would have the TradeMutt website already open right now, ready to go, because the code's coming. All right, we're about to say it.
You're about to say it. Are you going to say it, or do you want me to say it? You say it.
Check your Wi-Fi first. Make sure you're on your Wi-Fi.
Yeah, ADSL. You want ADSL.
Yeah.
And get off the landline so it fucking works properly.
Yeah, Mum! So we're going to let go of this code momentarily. But, just a reminder, it is to celebrate our 4th birthday. It's for the first 44 people to use it, one use only, and it's a gift of $44 to you to spend on whatever you want.
Or your mate.
No minimum spend. Do whatever you want. Should we let go of it?
Yeah, let's let go of it. All right.
The code for the listeners at home, and we'll flash it up on the camera momentarily for those of you watching,
is Mutts for Life. MUTTS, the number 4, LYF. That's right.
That's
Mutts. It's flashing up on your screen now.
Mutts.
Be quick.
Mutts for life.
Be fast. Be faster than that.
TTS 4 LYF.
All caps. Obviously, the number comes automatically
Chuck it in
capitalised.
at the checkout and have
a
fun
great day.
shopping.
Have a
Fill
great
your
day.
cart and do
Thanks
whatever you want.
for the support.
So, Mutts for life.
Now, there's 2 more questions here, Derek.
Do you reckon they got the code?
Yeah, they got it.
Righto.
They can rewind. This one, we've
One
already
more
answered.
time, just in case you were driving and you hit a pothole and your eardrum shook, or you're listening to us on a CD and it fucking, jumped. Not that would work. Let's edit that out. Mutts for life. MUTTS. The number 4.
LYF.
And LYF.
Righto, there's 2 questions left,
44 people only, $44.
Go now.
I was almost said $44 only, but that's a real generous gift.
That is a generous gift. Here you go.
Righto. And not that anyone's going to be listening anymore because they've just freaked out and gone to get there.
If you are still listening, thank
yeah.
you. This could be 2 years from now, and if 44 people haven't used that code yet, they've done something drastically wrong.
Bloody oath. So 3 questions to go.
2. The other one,
2?
there was one that was double, pretty much the same question.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
God, how did we fuck that up? Jeez, someone will get sacked over that.
Jesus.
Okay. Where or how do you get the inspiration for the collections or shirt colours?
Now, this is an interesting process because it has changed a few times, but now we are in a good rhythm of how this does work. And Iris, our lead fashion designer, puts together a overarching brief.
Creative season kickoff.
So basically she'll come to Dan, Jess and I.
Jess is our buying director.
Jess is our buying director. And basically present us with a theme for the collection. So obviously tying in time of year, events that are going on, stuff like that. And then there'll be normally about 5 or 6 sort of colorways and themes and specific sort of designs that are like rough, like templates that she's put together that we sort of go through and get a feel for. And then we'll provide some feedback and be like, we think this looks a bit better or that, et cetera, and then she'll then go away for a week, 2 weeks, then come back to us with something else a little bit more concrete. So we've just done that for Q1 for next year, which is pretty exciting. And
to guide those kickoffs as well, we always look at things like, well, seasonality, time of year, sort of things that are going on socially,
also
and
stuff
culturally.
that people have either asked for or that we have noticed people have liked more in previous collections that we can make adaptations to and whatnot. So that's how it pretty much works.
Yeah, and also like we've often, like I was talking about earlier with the original camo print, the oxymoron for making the invisible issue impossible to ignore, we like to use prints and different designs and themes and such to try to convey, some underlying messages, I suppose, around mental health or something that we want to get across. So, yeah, it's an interesting process for us. It's always been evolving. At the start, before we had a designer and before we had a clue, we did a lot of like pointing in like
this, that, try it.
Yeah, but yeah,
now it's a pretty streamlined process.
We've got an amazing designer and a really awesome process, and some really awesome feedback from the community, which helps guide. So
that's awesome.
Yeah. Thanks.
All right, final question.
Number
6
already.
Yep, that's it.
How long have we been going for?
Must be about a half an hour. 25 minutes.
25 minutes, says DK. Who thinks we should get DK a microphone for the future? Send us a message into admin@trademutt.com.
Oh, don't. That inbox is not used.
Hello at trademutt.com.
So, last question. Will there be some super hot work pants coming?
Who has...
That's a stitch-up,
Are
surely.
are they asking for like a pair of work hot pants or a pair of hot
work pants? Like
pants
warm, or keep you hot.
Or
look hot.
fiery, awesome looking hot.
I think fiery, awesome looking hot.
Yeah, we are gonna go into work pants, but we're going to use our traditional offering. We are expanding our traditional offering of workwear, which is just your general run of the mill workwear that's non-conversation starting. It's still got all the features of TradeMutt, like our logos, our YNWA, and the QR code. No, this is a conversation starter. So the pants that we're bringing to market are going to be similarly understated traditional work pants. We're not going to go loud, Larry pants. We just kind of think
You
it might be
can't.
a little bit too much.
Yeah.
We're always going to look to incorporate elements of prints.
Still have the wine WA and the dog ears and everything on them.
Yeah, we're always going to
But
look like we
they're
always
not
like
far. They're not far away.
No, they're not far away, and we look to bring elements of TradeMutt print into products like that, like whether it's inside the waistband or inside the pockets, or just little elements that can remind you that it is TradeMutt. But yeah, in terms of pants, I don't think we're going to go down
Full
that
monkey
route.
suit.
When we make a lot of decisions now about what we want to bring to market, we take into account a lot of factors. Obviously, we're playing in the fashion space, so we need to look at things like commercial viability, size breakdowns, if there's actually an appetite for these kinds of products, and is it going to be the kind of product that's going to be long-term sustainable for TradeMutt, so that it's not just a flash in the pan. So yeah, we've gone past.
We've learned some big lessons along the way.
We also start looking at data now, don't
Data,
we?
data,
we never
data
looked
points.
at data.
Yeah.
So yeah, before. When we started doing this stuff, we'd be like, let's make camel toe socks and let's order 10,000.
Well, we did finally get rid of them, which is good. So thanks, team.
So yep,
Pants coming. Shorts coming, but there are a couple of shorts already on there.
But
FSWPs,
check
footy
out
shorts
our
with pockets.
footy shorts with pockets. Check them out. We've got some canvas shorts going currently, which are great to work in. And yeah, we'll have always things like boardies and stuff that we'll do for small lifestyle collections around summertime and Christmas and that kind of stuff. So stay posted for later in the year for some more of the casual board short stuff, which has been really popular. But work pants, yeah, we're developing at the moment a nice cotton
Work pant.
spandex
Pant.
hybrid little stretch in there so that you can do your stuff. So.
Well, that pretty much rounds us out, Derek.
Have you got any extra questions for me?
No, I've got no questions for you.
Yeah,
There's
good.
nothing in the hat.
Because I don't have anything
Because
for
it's
you
half
either.
an hour's up.
So
big thanks to everyone. Thanks for getting us to 4 years.
They
Appreciate
won't-
it.
I doubt they'll be listening at this point. They're
Yeah,
still
they're
going
still-
there. They're
the
trying to figure out their
$44,
code.
yeah.
They're trying to get that MU.
Poor Donna's getting smoked at the moment with their customer service.
Yeah, Mutts for life. That was the code. MUTTS number 4 LYF on the camera.
Do it now.
There you go. Or forever hold your peace.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for all the support. We bloody love yous. Keep your eyes peeled for some upcoming cool little collection drops. And if anyone wants to reach out, access TX. Obviously, we are funding
0488 46988.
Yep.
Scan the code
8
on your
a.m.
show
till
pocket.
10 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. Free of charge. Ongoing early to mid mental health intervention.
Couple favours to ask. Give us some reviews. We want to hear your awesome reviews, not for the podcast.
Products.
For products, yeah. Jump on
Feedback. Send us your feedback.
Jump online. Send us feedback. Send us stories. Send us photos. And if anyone feels like doing some product, review videos or unboxing, videos, feel free to hit them with us because we always love that kind of stuff. But yeah, hit us with your best reviews or stories on our review platform, Akendo, which they can access via our email flow
and our website.
Our website and our postcard email flow. So it comes through. And we're going to be picking our favourite review every month that either makes the team laugh or cry or tug at the heartstrings or put a smile on our face. We're going to pick our favourite review and send out a free shirt to whoever does the awesome review. So, hit us with it.
Thanks, team.
Love
Appreciate
your work. Down the barrel.
Bye. Bye.
Awkward.
That was that. Cool.
If I stop, I'll die.